Autistic and Black? Here are some of the things they don't tell you. Hi everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Lavette Jallo, 9-time award-winning author, speaker, advocate for neurodiversity, intersectionality, and what I'm most known for, human rights. Today, I will be talking about and having a conversation that doesn't get talked about enough, what it really means to be Black and autistic and woman on top of that for some of us. Autism is already misunderstood. And when you add race, ethnicity to the mix, these challenges multiply. Black autistic people are misdiagnosed, dismissed, and forced to mask most of our lives just to survive. So today, we're going to break that silence. We're going to talk about misdiagnosis, cultural stigma, and why so many Black autistic people don't get diagnosed until adulthood when they can advocate for themselves. Because if we don't talk about it, who will? And I want to start with the double stigma. This is the reality for many of us. Black children are often misdiagnosed with behavioral disorders instead of autism. In contrast, because autism is based off the profile of a white boy, if a white boy struggles with communication, they might be tested much earlier for autism. But when it's a Black child, they're often labeled as defiant, disruptive, aggressive. And autistic traits in Black kids are rarely seen for what they are. Instead, we're more likely to be punished or ignored. And it's not just kids. Black autistic adults like myself also get overlooked because autism research was built around white middle-class boys. That means many of us will never fit that criteria for diagnosis. We're not seen. So if you've ever wondered, why did no one notice I was autistic sooner? It's because the system was never designed to see us. Late diagnosis and masking is a huge thing. For those of us who don't get diagnosed until adulthood, I was 23. We've already spent years perfecting our masking. And if you don't know what masking means suppressing your autistic traits to fit in. It's like forcing eye contact, mimicking social cues, or hiding sensory sensitivities. And we do this because the world teaches us that being ourselves isn't acceptable. And when it comes to Black autistic women, it's even worse. People expect us to be strong, to be resilient, to adapt. And when we do struggle, we're told this stress, it's anxiety, it's depression. Rarely do they consider autism. And that survival, it often comes from learning to mask in ways that most people, even psychologists, don't recognize as masking. Because autism in Black people, it doesn't always look like what we've been taught to expect. So things like being labeled too quiet or too talkative, if you don't speak much or you're called shy or rude. If you info dump, in excitement, you're told you talk too much. Sensory issues, which is something I struggle with, is seen as bad behavior. If you struggle with fabrics, loud noises, food textures, you get dismissed as being picky or dramatic. If you have meltdowns, it's seen as aggression. Instead of recognizing autistic burnout or sensory overload, many autistic people, especially boys here, are seen as acting out or being disrespectful. So we will get misdiagnosed instead of recognized as autistic. And we are often given labels like ADHD or conduct disorder instead of autism. Black women struggle with hyper-independence, mistaken for maturity. We're expected to handle things on our own, everything. So our struggles aren't taken seriously. Too bad if you happen to be the first daughter as well. And this is why so many Black autistic people go undiagnosed for years, because we're either ignored, dismissed, or forced to mask to survive, even amongst other Black people. And then let's go into the cultural barriers. Let's talk about why autism is still so misunderstood in the Black and African diaspora communities. In many cultures, autism isn't recognized. We don't use the word autism. So it's dismissed. If a child doesn't talk much, they're just shy. If they struggle with sensory overload, they're being dramatic. If they have meltdowns, they need better discipline. We'll talk about that discipline and what it looks like. A lot of parents also treat autism like a Western diagnosis. It wasn't a thing back in our day, but in reality, your grandma showed a lot of autistic traits. And then in some religious spaces, autism is seen as something to be prayed away instead of supported. But here's the truth. Autism exists in every culture. It's not a white thing. It's not new. We've always been here. We've just been forced into silence. And that silence, it isolates us. It makes us question ourselves. It forces us to hide. Which leads me to solutions. What needs to change? So where do we go from here? Here's what I think needs to change. We need better representation in autism research. And that research needs to involve Black researchers too. We need diagnostic criteria that reflects how autism presents in Black individuals. We need more Black autistic voices in advocacy, because if we don't tell our stories, they'll be told wrong. We need to break this cultural silence because we need conversations that reach our families, churches, mosques, schools, and workplaces. Because the more we talk about this, the less Black autistic individuals have to suffer in silence. So I will be going deeper in my videos on this. There'll be videos speaking to psychologists as well and therapists on how autism presents in little Black girls and boys, how to detect it. If you're a parent, let me know if that will be of interest to you. If you're autistic or around people who are autistic, ask questions. I will answer as many as I can at the comment section. And if you are like me, autistic, I want to hear from you too. Did you struggle with late diagnosis? Do you deal with cultural stigma? How is masking? I want to hear all of it because the more we share with each other, the less isolated we will be and the more we can normalize this. And if you haven't subscribed already, we have so much to unpack. This is just the start. So hit that subscribe button. Let's keep this conversation going because it's so immensely important to me. Bye.
And that's not